Hi, I'm Josh Ellsworth with STAHLS TV. When you're decorating polyester fabrics, there is a huge difference in dyed polyester fabrics and sublimated polyester fabrics and how you handle these items for printing, or for that matter, for not printing. So let me explain to you the difference in these items by examining 3 different garment styles here and teaching you how to accommodate each type of fabric. Let's start with the basic dyed polyester on this red Performance Sport Tech shirt. So this shirt, one of the giveaways of how you can tell it's actually a dyed polyester in the manufacturing process is that if you look at the face of the garment, you see a nice bright red. If you turn the garment inside out, you're seeing the same exact tone on the garment. This shows you that the complete fabric is dyed in the manufacturing process. Now, while there could be unstable dyes in this red polyester fabric that could migrate or want to bleed through your print, overall it's a lot easier to print and a lot easier to accommodate than a sublimated fabric. When you're decorating this type of fabric of a dyed polyester with a white print, you'll want to pick something that's dye inhibiting, such as a product like Thermofilm or Sublistop. There's a range of heat transfer products from STAHLS on the market where white stays white when you're printing this dyed polyester. Of course, if you're decorating with something like black on this type of polyester, even if the garment bleeds, it's not going to show through the face of a black material. So the rule of thumb is if you're decorating with a color that's lighter than the fabric you're decorating, you want to pick something that's dye inhibiting in this case. Now let's go to our next garment, which has a good example of both scenarios. This is a Sport Tech Polo shirt, and it gives us an example in one garment of sublimated polyester and dyed polyester. Let's start with the one we just reviewed. The gray color, you can see on the back of the shirt. If we're to decorate the back or a sleeve placement on this garment and flip it inside out, you're seeing the same gray color. Now if we pay attention closely to the front of this shirt, and you're seeing gray striping and lime green striping, if I flip this inside out, I'm seeing that that's actually a white-based material. That's a dead giveaway when the inside's white and the outside's a varying color that this has been sublimated. Now in the sublimation process, these dyes are actually heat printed into the garment and they're in there. They're not going to scratch off, they're not going to come off, but when heated again they can turn to a gas again. So when you're decorating these, heating them up, they can turn into a gas and they can actually bleed through your print. So these are very risky to decorate directly over sublimated polyester, even with a dye inhibiting material. For sublimation, you need a complete dye blocking material to decorate it. Let me give you one other example here on this jacket, and not that I would decorate the sleeves on this, but you can see how it's used to accent and create a little bit of a decorative piece in this construction. So once again, the inside, we'll let you guess it. This is a dyed polyester. Black on the outside, black on the inside. If I start to look in the sleeve and the piping of this jacket, and I flip it and see that design, when I look in the inside, I'm seeing something that's completely white. So if I were to decorate over the sleeve on this, this would be a sublimated polyester. So in conclusion, always examine your fabrics and pick the right transfer material before you start the job and before you start decorating. Even though material may apply at a low temperature, doesn't necessarily mean that the sublimation dyes aren't going to bleed through eventually. You need something that is completely dye blocking for sublimated fabrics, and you only need something that's dye inhibiting, which opens up your range of choices for polyester dyed fabrics.